For the people in the American fighting game community that were there to witness it, it was the most significant day of our lives. For Daigo, it was Sunday. That is Patrick Miller's description of the subject of today's video. Arguably the most iconic moment in competitive gaming history, we're about to explore the legendary first meeting between Japan's Daigo Umehara and America's Justin Wong, two of the finest Street Fighter players of all time. And this first meeting between two gods would change competitive video games forever. This is EVO Moment 37. EVO Moment 37 took place on August 1st, 2004 at the Evolution Fighting Tournament. The following year, a DVD highlighting the best moments from the event was released, and the clip in question was arbitrarily named number 37, even though people at the time knew it probably should have been number 1. The moment took place during a specific match between two very, very good players. Hailing from Japan, Daigo Umehara was the face of fighting games in his home country. Known simply as the Beast, Daigo made a name for himself after winning the Street Fighter national title in Japan at the age of 15 and then defeating North America's best player, Alex Valle, in Street Fighter Alpha 3 at the age of 17. Known for his meticulous approach to fighting games, Daigo is equal parts cold calculation and red-hot aggression, forcing his opponents into difficult situations and methodically breaking them down piece by piece. His opponent, Justin Wong, was considered one of America's finest 2D fighting game players, and was sort of the antithesis to Daigo's aggressive playstyle. Known for his conservative turtle style and his mastery of that fundamental neutral game tool known as footsies, Wong played between the bars, weaving in and out of his opponent's range until an opening presented itself, and lashing out in those moments like a snapping turtle bursting out of its shell. Both players were able to find success with their respective styles, and many wondered who would win in a head-to-head matchup. Footage of their exploits existed on DVDs and in online message boards, but fans and competitors alike could only theorize about what a match between these two would actually look like. Was Daigo, Japan's 2D fighting game god, simply untouchable by mere mortals? Or was Justin Wong's defense-oriented playstyle the future of Street Fighter? Well, one fateful afternoon in Pomona, California, that question would be answered, and the gods would finally meet in person. The game took place in the finals of the losers bracket for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. The winner of this set would go on to the grand finals to face off against Kenji K.O. Obata. But the stakes for this match were so much higher than the tournament itself. This was the first time that Jaewong and Daigo would face off in tournament. It was North America versus Japan, East versus West. For this set, Daigo was playing as Ken and Jaewong was Chun-Li. Going into game 1, it seemed like the two were an equal match for one another. And right off the bat, the clash of styles between these two is easy to see. Daigo is trying his best to break through Justin's wall of pokes to land a hit, while Wong is biding his time, staying just out of range and stuffing Daigo every time he tries to advance. Sometimes, Justin just sits there, menacingly, throwing out moves into the void. Daigo, a player known for his unflinching composure, is visibly frustrated by Justin's turtle style, and the commentators take notice.
Rare footage of Daigo actually angry.
At this point, both players have won one round. Going into round 3, Jaewong lands 2 meaty combos, building a nice lead for himself, and giving him some breathing room to sit back and play defensively. Realistically, given how much health he has, he could just sit back and let the timer run out. So now, the ball is in Daigo's court, and if he wants something to happen, he has to make it happen. After being walled out by jabs and low kicks for a good 10 seconds, Daigo finally finds an opening, landing a string of attacks and backing Jaewong into the corner. After a few mix-ups and a successful throw, Jaewong manages to jump out and reset the neutral game, once again releasing all pressure. As Daigo tries to chase him down, the two trade low kicks, and Daigo's health bar is reduced, literally as low as it can go. At this point, any hit, even one that is blocked, will knock Daigo out, since in Third Strike, players can be knocked out by chip damage. In this situation, there are only 2 ways to survive an attack. 1, completely dodge it, or 2, perform what is known as a parry, a sort of manual block that has an incredibly tight frame window, but negates all damage. So Daigo decides to play the mental game. He goads Wong, tempts the American into doing something foolish. He knows that Chun-Li has enough meter to perform her super, and banks everything on baiting Wong into using it. As it turns out, that gamble pays off. For a moment, both players stare each other down, like two samurai, swords drawn, sizing each other up. A moment of pure serenity. In his book, The Will to Keep Winning, Daigo reflects on this moment, saying, quote, "I remember feeling the pressure as I watched my life gauge dwindle, thinking this might be the end. When he had me in that corner, I entered into a zen-like focus, prepared to do whatever it took. In an instant, all hell broke loose." Wong inputs Chun-Li's super, and everyone in the audience knows that it's over. Given the spacing, and Daigo being on the ground, it was impossible for him to get out of the way in time. And with the flurry of 15 consecutive kicks about to be unleashed, even if he had the wherewithal to block, he would die from chip damage. It's a lose-lose situation, because no matter what, Daigo is going to get hit, and he has no HP to spare. But let me remind you, there's a reason why Daigo Umehara is known as the Beast. As Chun-Li surges forward, instead of holding back to block, Daigo does the unthinkable. He taps forward, executing a near frame-perfect input to parry the first kick and negate all damage. Then he does the same for the second kick, and the third, and the fourth. It's difficult to describe how hard this is to do in a vacuum, when you're sitting at home practicing it in training mode.
That's parry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 7. Wait, what? Was it 7?
But to do it on stage, at EVO, in front of a home crowd rooting against you, with 0 HP to spare, and having to input the first parry before Chun-Li's super animation has even started, it defies belief. But the best was yet to come. Because after successfully countering the first 14 hits of Chun-Li's super, Daigo shows us his true genius. He jumps. As soon as he goes airborne, you can feel the dam about to break. Those parries weren't just an attempt to prolong the game, but a calculated method to turn Wong's offense back against him. You see, with every successful parry, Daigo is building meter. And to cap off his string of defensive brilliance, he jumps to parry Chun-Li's last kick in the air, positioning himself perfectly to punish her end lag with a kick of his own, which links into a low kick, then an uppercut, and then Daigo spends his newly built meter to unleash a super right back in Wong's face. There is simply no more beautiful way that this sequence could have ended. Say what you will about this clip, that it wasn't optimal, or the inputs aren't that hard, or that Wong sold because he could have just run out the clock. Those criticisms just aren't really valid. Regardless of what armchair fighting game analysts might have to say, the fact is, EVO Moment 37 changed gaming as we know it, and transcended just video games. As Cole Travis says, EVO Moment 37 was not just a fighting game match. It was a singular moment that showcased that gaming can have the same significance as any sport out there. It was Jordan hitting the buzzer beater in Game 6. It was Ali knocking out George Foreman. It was Babe Ruth calling his shot and hitting it out of the park. To be in front of a packed room of screaming Street Fighter fans, battling for your tournament life in losers bracket, and to have the composure to perform one of the most daring sequences ever captured on film is simply breathtaking. Although Daigo would win this set and then go on to lose in grand finals, that's not why people remember EVO 2004. People remember Moment 37, the instant where North America got to witness the Beast with their own eyes. Moment 37 would go on to become one of the most viewed gaming clips of all time, propelling Daigo to superstardom in Japan and around the world, and is often cited as the most important esports moment of all time. Over the years, the moment has been referenced and celebrated time and time again. In Third Strike Online, there's an achievement for performing the Daigo parry. Daigo and Wong recreated the moment 10 years later during a Third Strike exhibition match, and even to this day, people can't stop trying to land it against Wong himself, who often streams himself playing Third Strike online.
Oh, he got it? You think he got it, bro? You think he Daigo? You ain't Daigo. Oh, he Daigo! He Daigo! He Daigo! No! Bro, that's not scripted. That's not scripted, bro. He Daigo'd me.
For the next 15 years, Daigo and Wong would have one of the greatest rivalries in esports, facing off numerous times in tons of different titles. But the one that we always come back to is that first meeting. And you'd think for the role he played in such an iconic moment that Daigo would look fondly on Moment 37. But a true competitor to his core, Daigo looks at Moment 37 as just another stepping stone on his way to victory. Nothing special, just the best available option executed to perfection.
I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
Evo Moment 37.
For you, the day
Daigo
Grace
Evo 2004
was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was
Sunday.
This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to Jason, B, Brendan, QB, Foxy, Mauve, Pachanas, Pin, Sierra, Shampoo, Spartacus, and Yashichi for being Platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Steven, Noodles, and Marco for being Diamond supporters. Thank you all for your continued support. If you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah. Thanks for watching.